Neurodiversity Inclusion Project. It's here. The Neurodiversity Playbook for Teachers is officially online. What does this mean? I am coming to you from my classroom. My name is Brandy Figueroa, and I am the founder of Neurodiversity Inclusion Project, and I am so excited to bring this information to you. I'm not somebody that's going to pay for advertisement and do all kinds of fancy photos and everything, because I'm a real teacher. I am boots on the ground. I'm in the mud with you guys. And I wanted to create something that was going to help all of us in the educational field collaborate together and be better educators and be better advocate for special education. So why did I do this? I started years ago when I met my stepson, and he has autism. And so I was like, yeah, what does this mean? What do we do? And trying to learn brand new as a step parent and / caregiver to help meet his needs with zero understanding to what this meant. I absolutely fell in love with not just him, but the world of special education and being the voice to people that don't really necessarily know how to communicate the same way that you and I know how to communicate. Moving forward, I stepped into the educational role as a substitute teacher when I was pregnant with my 4th child and loved it, but I didn't know what I was stepping into. Each classroom was different. All these different kids were different. I didn't know that if I said this one thing to this one kid, if it was going to send into a spiral. I had no idea. And oftentimes, actually 99.99% of the time, teachers would leave me sub-plans, but they wouldn't leave me any sort of guidance to their special education or their 504 students that were in the classroom. And so that made for really rough days sometimes when those kids are like, hey, you're new and you don't belong here. And so it just kind of went from there. After I had my daughter, I started going back to school to finish up my degree. I have my bachelor's degree in educational administration. And during that time, I served as a paraprofessional. So I understand that aspect of things too. I did have some SPED training. I definitely didn't understand how to read an IEP. As a matter of fact, an IEP was never given to me. I did not know what a BIP was. I did not know what any professional was. I had really, this is how we're going to do things, follow along. No shame to that administration or that team at all. They gave out a lot of great information, but it was really like drinking from a fire hose. And so I took that and kind of stored it in the back of my knowledge to say, okay, we're going to come revisit this years from now once I have a little bit firmer foundation. So now I have been a general education teacher. I have been a special education teacher for years now. And I am so excited to say that I'm taking all of that I have put together, all these books that are back here that, and I came up with an inclusion playbook for teachers. So let's dive in. What does this mean for you as an educator? This has 7 chapters. There's printables at the back of the book for you to just, it'll be a digital copy so you can download. And then if you choose to use these templates to make your life a little bit easier, then you can just download them, make copies, and that'll be that. So chapter 1, the foundation, legal language and regulation, the acronym decoder. When you hear things, even as SPED, there are so many people I cannot tell you that when they see SPED, and they're brand new, they don't have any idea what that means. Going from there, you have your LSSP, you have your SLP, you have your OT, your PT, your ARDs, your IEPs, your BIPs, FAPE, and all the other things. In this playbook, it is a rundown of all of the professionals that you're going to run into that are going to have something to do with your students' education. And whether it is the diagnostician who's doing evaluations, the child psychologist, the speech pathologist, all of that is going to be in here for you so that when you see these letters after people's names or on these documents and they're just flying, you don't know, now you're going to know. The vocabulary decoder, the legal and instructional terms, the legal line in the sand. This is where most teachers, if somebody were to walk in from wherever, a region or a walkthrough or something, an accommodation versus a modification. This is broken down in here. There are examples of what an accommodation looks like versus what a modification looks like, and where you take this from being legal and compliant to now you're not legal and compliant, and we don't want to ever go into that area. The para and sub connection, protecting legal data integrity. We want to give the paraprofessionals and the substitutes all of the goodies. We want them to know. We don't want anybody else to walk into a classroom and say, I don't know, I wasn't given this tool, this was a bad day, I'm never going to sub for this class anymore. We don't want our paraprofessionals in the front office going like, I can't handle Miss Smith's class anymore, please don't send me back in there. We want to educate every stakeholder that comes into a classroom about a special education kid to the best of our ability. Chapter 2, the learner profiles, understanding the why. The disability snapshot, functional versus academic barriers, A through Z. We have so many different disabilities that it is so overwhelming. So this breaks down what your academic disability or what your disability is going to be and how that looks in a functional aspect and how that looks in an academic aspect. And then it's going to give you tips on how to teach to that disability. The professional translator, the neuro-affirming lens, the pivot table, moving from a rookie to a pro, the power verb cheat sheet, clinical documentation mastery. Again, you get all these different things and you're like, why do you need this data? Why am I wasting my time on this? Oh my gosh, this is just another sheet that I got to fill out. Most of the time, each teacher, a special education teacher or diagnostician or whomever that wants data on a special education kid has their own form, and you're like, not another form. I'm not doing this anymore. I have no time. And your desk starts getting like this, especially if you're in a high volume area. So this is going to help you become a master at this to where you're not spending extra time and hours trying to decipher this, or spending your time, quite frankly, wasting your time giving information that you think's really great information that the professionals can't really do anything with because it's not clear, concise data that they need. The ARD table script, speaking like a 10-year veteran. So when you go into an ARD meeting, a lot of times, this is your annual review or dismissal meeting. This is where your parents are going to be there. All of the professionals are going to be in the room. Your admin team is going to be in the room. A special education teacher is going to be in the room. And you're a general education teacher who's with this child 8 hours out of your day, and you have no idea what anybody is saying around the room. You don't understand the lingo. This is going to give you the tools that you need to step into that room like a boss lady or a boss gentleman and say, okay, I am an active member of this ARD committee. I know what they're talking about, and I know what I'm talking about. The last thing we want to do is have parents or members that are just concerned because they're looking at you going, you don't have any idea what to do with my child. We're gonna reshape that. We're gonna rephase that. That's what this is for. Chapter 3, the environment, the physical space. This is so important. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And it is literally trial and error. The 363 sensory audit in your room, moving from visual screams to white space. If it doesn't need to be in the room, don't have it in the room, especially if you have SPED kids that are visuals. You're already asking for a bad day on a Monday because they saw the wrong color poster, and that is legit. And so this is going to help guide you through how to look at your classroom from a neurodivergent mindset. Identify the auditory and olfactory audit. Smells. We all have some sort of scenty type of thing in our classrooms because, right? Kids can stink. Not every kid wears deodorant. They're playing outside. You're setting yourself up for failure if you have a child that has a sensory to that and you don't even know it. And they may not be able to communicate to you that smell is so overpowering that if they smell a lemon one more time, they're going to wipe out your whole classroom. So we want to just bring ourselves into the realization of what this world really looks like and all the different triggers that are out there. Auditory, do you have noise canceling headphones in your room? Do you have a mini fridge that maybe is a little bit on the fritz and has a little bit of a humming noise that you and the rest of the kids can't hear, but Johnny over here is going to rip your fridge apart because he can't take it. Their senses are heightened to such a astronomical level for some kids that you don't know what you don't know. This guide is going to help you to know those kind of things. The tactile and movement, the tool versus the toy, fidget quality control. We want to make sure that what we're giving our kids isn't just an item of here, play with this, be quiet because you want it. We want it to be tangible. We want the fidgets to work. We want them to do what they are intended to do for a sensory need. Your regulation station. I can't tell you how many classrooms I have walked into in an elementary school that don't have a calm down corner. They're too old for that. Listen, you go home in your space, you get into your hot shower, you get in your car and you jam out. You do what you need to do as an adult to regulate yourself because there's nobody to tell you that you can't. These children need that space in every single classroom to say, this is too much. This is where I'm going to go, and have everything that they need to learn how to regulate themselves, because when they don't have the tools provided for them, they're going to get your attention one way or another. And that's not a bad thing. Honestly, that is more so on the teacher's part of it than it is the student, because we're here to educate, not just ABCs, not just 1, 2, 3s. We are here to get to know our students and provide their best educational experience. And that means including everything that they need. If you're going to give pencils and glue sticks and scissors, then we're going to give fidgets and sensory mazes and all the things. We're going to cover the classroom from head to toe, wall to wall, to make sure every student, no matter if it's a neurotypical child or a neurodivergent child, has what they need, right? Chapter 4, the strategy suite, implementation tools. The IEP at a glance, your North Star, it is your cheat sheet. It's great. Read all about it. The accommodations menu, high-packed how-to tools, the modification menu, managing grade level expectations, your universal design, the inclusion secret for the whole class. So you're going to have a list of accommodations that you can use in your room. You're going to have a list of modifications that you can use in your room. And then you're going to have that paper or that snippet in here that's going to bridge all of that together to where you have an inclusive classroom, to where accommodations and modifications don't just have to be for a neurodivergent mind, for somebody that has ADHD or autism or a slow learning disability or an intellectual disability. If you're giving the class a hundreds chart to learn how to write from 1 to 100, boom, we're going to include everybody in this. Okay, Chapter 5, the BIP and behavioral mastery. A BIP is a behavior implementation plan. This is where your data is so significant. I can't even stress it enough. If you're just telling us he flips tables, he throws pencils, why? What is going on that is leading to this? That information is so important. We can give you a BIP all day long. Our clinical psychologist, a school psychologist, a diagnostician, anybody that comes in to evaluate that child can sit there and give you a textbook BIP. Very easy to do, but that's not what we want. We don't want textbook. We want something that's going to be implemented, that is something that is going to be easy for you to read, and something that is actually going to work to make your job and your day smoother. That comes from really good data. So your BIP section is going to teach you how to give that sort of data to the people that need to have it, so that we can get in there and make your life easier, make your life just a little bit less challenging for these students. I am going to give you a disclosure. It's not going to work on day 1. Not going to work. It's probably not going to work on week 1. It is something that is repetitive. It's something that you have to agree to stick to, because you can't just say, well, I did it for a week and it didn't work. We know that. That in our world, in a special education world, we know that. It's common sense. It takes time. This is going to teach you how to take that time that you need to make sure that you're implementing these things the right way in your classroom, to where success is for the student, for the students in the class, and for yourself. We're making magic here, people. Okay? All right. So we have the BIP mandate, protecting your license, your safety, and your shield. You can lose your license if you're not following a BIP or an IEP. This is going to explain why, it's going to explain how, and it's going to explain how to keep you out of that area to where it's not even a factor. Your 60-second scan, identifying function triggers and scripts. You're going to do your 60-second. You're going to have it down. You're going to have it on your clipboard. You're going to be able to scan your room, and you're going to be able to know, move, shape. We're good to go. That is the goal. Less time, more action. All right. BIP real-world examples from escape to sensory input. Is it an escape behavior or is this a sensory thing? This is going to teach you what the difference is, how to notate that, how to collect data on it, and how to be prepared for it. And then the last thing, data as an advocacy, building a stronger ARD team. The general education teacher is one of the most valid pieces and most significant, important pieces in an ARD meeting because you have the child, you know the child. So we need data from you that works for everybody. We want you to sound professional. I want you to sound like you've been in this business, you know what you're doing, and you are showing up every day doing the best job that you can possibly do. Do I know that you're worn out? Do I know that you're tired? Do I know that you need to scream footloose all the way home or ride in silence? Yes. But this tool is to really help you to where we have less meltdowns and teacher burnout. Okay? Chapter 6, tracking and collaboration, the co-teaching pulse, shared data for shared burdens. Your special education teacher should not be somebody that you are sick to your stomach when she walks through the door because she's going to put something in there that you don't want to mess with. We need co-teaching to be stronger than ever. I want your teams to turn from not just the SPED department is coming down here to where you can call and say, hey, I have built relationships across my campus with every teacher that I work with, and they know I will put my cape on and I will be in your room so fast to model, to remove the student if we have to whatever needs to be done in that moment to help you breathe, get your classroom under control, and then we re-engage. That's what this is going to help you to do. As a special education teacher, if you just tell me Johnny's kicking over a chair, what do you want me to do about that? I need to know, why is Johnny kicking down this chair? What was the trigger so that I can help you implement how to avoid those triggers, okay? The scatter plot method, this is to where if you really want to get fancy with it, we can identify behavior trends, time, and subject. You may not even think that music is setting Johnny off, right? Music, he knows it's coming, and dadgummit, he better not hear one more xylophone. And so that's all that's going through his mind, right? But you're not going to see that until little Johnny's already kicking over your xylophones. So this is going to help you to be able to plot data, keep data, and track it to where we can start to see, maybe we should put an accommodation that little Johnny goes to art class instead of music, because the IEP team, the ARD team, we can do stuff like that. So again, that's another avenue for you. You just got to know how to get on that road, okay? Let's see here. What do we have? Share data, identifying behavioral trends, the collaboration vault, bridging the gap between home and school. I can't tell you how important it is that you need to have a standing relationship with all of your parents, especially students that are special education. When you call to say, okay, I've had enough, I can't take any more, and you start writing those notes home, so-and-so hit 5 times today, so-and-so spit 3 times today, so-and-so hit, so-and-so knocked over computers, whatever. You need to have a glow statement and a grow statement. A glow statement, what did this student do well today? Those need to be going out like hotcakes. Okay, there is nothing more concerning to a parent than to send their special education child to a place where either they're nonverbal, pre-verbal, have communication deficits, and now you're calling and telling me that my child's just bad. That is how they're going to take it. You don't know what you're doing. That's how they're going to respond to you a majority of the time, unless you have that relationship. We always want to build a foundation to work with the parent to say, hey, are you noticing these behaviors at home? Now, 75% of the time, they're going to tell you no, because the expectations at home, that's their comfort zone or that's their war zone. There's no in between. That's either the place they want to be or the place they don't want to be. And both of those scenarios are very realistic. We need to have a collaboration from home and school so that we can build a proper plan to help all the way around. This guide is going to guide you into scripts, how to, if you are brand new at this and you get very nervous about making those phone calls, I've got scripts in here that you can start reading over to kind of like get your brain pumping to say, okay, oh, this isn't as hard as I thought. I have Parent Square, or if you have a digital school communication app to where you can plug it in until you feel comfortable. You can take what I've done, plug it into ChatGPT with all of your own information. If that's what makes you feel more comfortable, I don't care how you suit and boot as long as you're ready for the battle. That's how I see that. And then the crisis connection scripts, mastering phone calls, emails, and parent squares. This is a huge tool, like I just said, that I'm excited to bring so many educators, because I've sat in way too many meetings. I've sat in way too many classrooms when they're like, this parent is explosive, or this parent, I don't want to call this parent. It makes me nervous. I just want to vomit, because we're giving news that maybe isn't favorable. This tool, if you use it properly, is going to guide you in how to eliminate that, be the professional that you need to be, and build those strong connections from pre-K or ECE all the way up to 12th grade. Chapter 7, the resilient educator. I had to put this in here because everything else is tailored to how to take care of the student. Now I want to shift. How do we take care of you? This is 21 minutes in, guys. I am so excited for this, but I really wanted to break it all down. The high intensity reset, managing your own nervous system, super important. The tactical boundaries, email sunsets, and the good enough rule. Dive into it. The WIN journal, fighting the negativity bias. This is for you. This isn't going to anybody. You can write it, rip it up, burn it, shred it, whatever you got to do. You will see in here how to use that tool. It's a good tool. Okay. And then transitioning from teacher to person with the lanyard ritual. My lanyard is perfect on how to do this. Let me tell you how I end every single day when I walk out of this building, no matter what storm I've had to put out, no matter what fire has came up, no matter how good of a day it's been, no matter how bad of a day it's been. I'm a sped teacher. You're not going to choke me. This is it. And I drop it in my seat next to me, and I have transitioned from teacher to wife, mom, grandma, everything that I need to be when I get ready to go home. Okay, in the back, we have an appendix, printable text templates, your IEP at a glance, your BIP, the functional data tally for those behaviors, the grow glow statement log for parents, the Monday morning quick start for you, the 30-day inclusive launch roadmap, and then your professional inclusion pro certification, because who doesn't love a good checklist and a great certification to say, I accomplished something? We accomplish so much every single day as teachers, and we don't give ourselves enough credit. So do it. It doesn't matter. Do it. Frame it if you have to. You are now, by the time you go from page 1 to the end of the book, you have taken yourself from a general education teacher to an inclusion professional, and that is my goal. So thank you. If you have stayed to the 23 minutes of this launch is going, I'm so excited for it. You can pick up your copy through my website on Facebook, through Gumrod. You can message me if you have any questions about it, and we're off and running. Stay tuned. Next, the parent playbook is going to come out next for parents to understand how school works and the things that we're looking for that. So I'm super excited for that. And then my third and final wrap up is going to be for administrators to kind of bridge the gap, because not all administrators know special education like the back of their hand either. And we want them to be at their prime to really advocate for their school and their staff. So welcome to Neurodiversity Inclusion Project. This is Brandy, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.